Hello guys, the coin here. Uh, Today I just wanted to talk about the latest Bitcoin price action. So according to the charts and the trend, it looks like we have finally broke out of the bear market, because the problem is that we were making uh, after the drop to the 3100 area, we were bouncing around this 41. We weren't making higher highs, so basically we came up in here, we went lower, we went up again, we went lower until this area of the 3331 area. We were making higher highs, and finally we broke out of this area here, which was the previous higher high since we basically bottomed out in here in 3178. So we're making higher highs again. So according to the chart, it looks like we are finally leaving the bear market. But does it mean that we are going to rally straight up? Well, that is left to be seen, because we have another very important resistance area, which is this around this 62.43. We may get there, we may not, but although we might be leaving the bear market behind, don't think it's going to be straight. It's going to be going straight up, because it's just not basically what happens on Bitcoin or any chart or any stock. It doesn't happen, guys. It's just fairy tales. But so we could go to the 6,000 area again, but who knows? It's like I said, these markets are completely unpredictable, because many TA guys were actually betting that the market was going down. That's why I don't like to make any kind of predictions, because the charts in technical analysis tells us a lot of things, but it doesn't tell us when big buying orders come up in here, because there's speculation that someone actually bought $100 million worth of Bitcoin. So what happens? That's basically what happens when $100 million comes into Bitcoin at once. It pumps up like hell, and yeah, fundamentally, it's just it's getting better and better, because we are still waiting. Well, people are still waiting for the ETF. Well, the ETF doesn't have any meaning to me. What is of interest in here is the institutional investors. These are the most important bullish fundamentals, which I believe that, well, if $100 million get into the cryptocurrency space and does that to Bitcoin, the bottom line is that these institutional investors, these fund managers, they have a lot of money. They have a lot of billions. They have a lot of trillions, and I don't believe that they haven't got in yet, because um, the truth is that we only have limited amounts of Bitcoin for people to own, and if these institutional investments fund managers start to FOMO into the market, forget the all-time highs here, guys. 20K with trillions of dollars getting into the market doesn't mean anything. They will buy anything up, and of course they will FOMO like everybody else. But there's a lot of speculation. A lot of guys are talking about, like, Da Vinci is talking about that many institutional investors will start more to pile up at the 6,000 level. So he might be right. It's like I said, if or when these institutional investors start to FOMO in, all hell is going to break loose, because it's like I said, there's only a limited amount of Bitcoin available, uh, on the OTC market and on the exchanges. There are a lot of hodlers that have been hodling Bitcoin since they started mining it, and they haven't sold, and they will not be selling, unless they found out the top on when this bull market really finally swings in. But it's still a speculative, still very speculative, and to know certainly what is going to happen. But one thing is for sure: when these institutional investors FOMO in, oh, believe me, Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies, they just will go berserk. Because if you actually thought that this last bull market was insane, with the kind of money that that we are talking about, it will mean absolutely nothing. Because the bottom line is, most people are still talking about that most of the cryptocurrency will die. I believe at some point they will, but as long as they are listed on exchanges, these investors and everybody that is involved in the cryptocurrency space will want to make money. So they will, like the last bull run, they will pump up everything. Of course, at some point it will be overvalued, but it's like I said, it's hard, because when we're talking about so much money that is going to chase the markets, and if they can't get a grip of Bitcoin, they will find the next big, the next best thing, like Litecoin. Well, Ripple has a high coin count, or a high cap of mintage, so Litecoin will be one of the benefiters for sure. Well, Ripple for sure, but it's like I said, because of the high coin count. But it's like I said, when FOMO gets in, it all that doesn't mean anything, because if or when, not if, when Bitcoin surpasses the 20K and goes to, I don't know, maybe 200K, Litecoin will be worth, I don't know, perhaps 10 to 20 or to $50,000. Who the hell knows? And of course, we still have Ethereum out there. We have Dash. We have a lot of these altcoins. Ethereum will benefit. Like I said, Ripple will benefit. Litecoin will benefit. EOS will benefit. Bitcoin Cash, although many people are already counting Bitcoin Cash out, everything will pump. So does Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision. Binance Coin is already up massively, and it is basically a utility token, and Binance Coin is part of the Binance exchange, so there will be a market in there. There will be demand. Stellar will also be one of the benefiters. Cardano, Tron, Monero. Well, privacy coins are a little bit beat down at the moment, but it's like I said, basically everything in here will pump up. Dogecoin is also starting to move. I don't know if it was because of Elon Musk's interview or tweet. I can't remember anymore, because he spoke about Dogecoin, and it's basically, I don't believe it's because of him that Dogecoin was up, because I was actually following Dogecoin for a while, and Dogecoin was actually set up to go up, because I was drawing that already for a few weeks. So basically it was just a question of time that Dogecoin is starting to move again. It has moved, not a big time yet. We don't know. The bottom line is that Bitcoin is starting to make massive gains. Of course, everybody will ride the Bitcoin train, and then after these profits, it will spread to the altcoin market. That's just the way it goes. It flows back to Bitcoin, then from Bitcoin to altcoins, then from altcoins to Bitcoin again, and that's how the cycle works. And if we have about $100 million worth of new money getting into the space, well, already many coins moved a lot, so we don't know how much it can actually move. I have seen coins went from 300% to 150%. Like Raven coin went 5x, and there's another coin that went up, like I said, 150%. So we don't know how the markets will behave, but one thing is for sure: if that money starts to get in, then it's basically going up. First in Bitcoin, or because now instead of only have to be buying Bitcoin and get into the alt market, there's a lot of possibilities that you can start to buy altcoins with fiat already through Coinbase, through other exchanges that are out there. So it's like I said, when people will start to chase Bitcoin, and they can get Bitcoin, they will continue to go down the ladder. First, or maybe not, Ethereum, Litecoin, EOS, Bitcoin Cash, and it continues to go down. And basically every coin will pump, because it's like I said, we may say that, and I will say that I'm for the technology, and this is great. This technology is really amazing, but the bottom line is people are invested in price movement, price action, and especially these people. This is the institutional players and fund managers. They want basically the same thing, and that's basically why the cryptocurrency market will pump up like if you actually thought the last bull market was big, it's nothing. It's nothing compared to what is coming. So if you want to buy, Bitcoin might be going down a little bit lower, maybe coming back to the 4,000 levels again, maybe a little bit lower. Who the hell knows? But well, if these big institutions start to FOMO in, then well, the chance to get into cheap Bitcoin is basically over. There is still a chance that it can come back to the 44K levels, but it's like I said, it's hard to understand or to predict that kind of money, because it's like I said, everybody talks about TA, and some guys are actually thought about it, and they are actually right. TA is a good prediction tool on a short term, but on a medium term it's hard, because who the hell or which TA guy can actually expect that. Let's assume that tomorrow big whales, big institutions want to buy $1 trillion worth of Bitcoin at the same time. What do you actually believe will happen to the market if that kind of money would actually come in? Would we obliterate previous highs of 20K at $1 trillion? Of course, it's speculation, but the bottom line is, along this next bull market, you can actually expect that, because these institutions, they will FOMO like whatever, they will FOMO hard. And when these institutional and large players FOMO in, they will put a lot of money out. These people are all about profits. Of course, we are also here about profits. Technology is great and everything, but if you can get paid, it's even better. And it's like I said, it's hard to predict what kind of highs Bitcoin will actually make because you know McAfee might actually be right, and Bitcoin may reach $1 million. Like I said, it's a lot of money, and the bottom line is when you will know when that kind of money will actually get into Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market. But what it will do in price action, well, we can only speculate it. Because as far as I know, we never had a $1 trillion cryptocurrency coin market cap or market cap. So the bottom line is it will come. It will come to 1 trillion, then 2 trillion, then 5 trillion. If that will happen in the span of this bull market, who the hell knows? But it will happen sooner or later. Bitcoin is not going anywhere. The institutions, the great companies like PayPal and Twitter and everything else, they are preparing, man. They are preparing because they know what the future of money, of transactions is, and it's cryptocurrency, man. And the bottom line is you will get in and make money on the way, or you will leave, you will be left behind, and that's why these companies that are starting to get into the cryptocurrency market, if major institutions and major enterprises are not looking into Bitcoin, they will miss out, and they can go extinct because we all know the problems that fiat currencies like the US dollar already have, and many people are already speculating that another crisis like in 2008 will happen in between 1 to 2 years. So if it hits again, besides of commodities, Bitcoin was designed for this. It was launched in 2009 after the 2008 crash. And Bitcoin was created just for that reason, to prevent these kind of crashes. And the bottom line is Bitcoin is now more behaving like gold, kind of a commodity, kind of like a safe haven. And if you ask the people of Venezuela and Iran and in Argentina, well, they will tell you that it is the truth, because the bottom line is their fiat currencies are getting hyperinflated. So basically, these currencies are getting devalued by the day, and if people actually believe that the US and Europe is actually immune to that, well, these people will get it bad. So still a good opportunity to buy Bitcoin. Maybe you can buy some in here if we actually can reach 6K. But you can actually put a buying order back then in here, maybe at 40 to 41. Maybe it goes even a bit lower. Who knows? But it's a trend change. It really looks like the bear market is over. It's not going to go up in a straight line. Bitcoin will have dips, and it might get to the 4,000 area again, maybe a little bit lower. So if you're pondering into buying, if you want to buy now, buy a little bit, don't buy too much, and put on a buying order between this level, perhaps, I don't know, maybe in here 39.39, or maybe around 40.40, because people were actually wanting to buy, or wanting to catch the knife, wanting buy Bitcoin at the absolute low. So it looks like that already happened around here. Nobody catches the bottom, guys. It's something that doesn't happen. Maybe one or two that are lucky, but these things don't happen like that. It's like the tops. Nobody calls the tops. Maybe one or two guys that are really lucky, but other people that were actually seeing this, because there were not many. I, to be honest, wasn't expecting that bear market that we went through, but there were some guys that actually saw the writing on the wall and sold around this area. Sold around 13, 14, 15, and actually many people sold when Bitcoin was actually going down, and many guys sold around here. So you will never buy the bottoms, and you will never buy the tops. It's something that don't happen because people don't know. Like I said, only a couple of guys, one or two guys, are actually lucky will get that trade, but it's almost one in a million for something to happen, because that's just how it works. So yeah, many people were actually saying, yeah, many G8 traders saying, yeah, Bitcoin is going to dump again, going to dump and go below 1,000, maybe 500, just take a look at this. But there were too many bears in the market, and it really looked like when we reached this level, the sellers, they really sold hard in here. We came back down, and basically what it looks like is that the sellers are basically gone. There will be some guys that will sell in here because yeah, they actually don't believe that Bitcoin is going to move up. So they basically bought at this level, but they are still fearful, and they will going to be selling again. So it's like I said, if you want to be buying, of course, back here around the 4,000 level, that would be the optimal level. But if you should be buying, if you should be or not buying Bitcoin right now, of course you should. But you have to prepare yourself that we can still maybe go down to the 4,000 area, or even dip a little, like we're seeing in here. But Bitcoin is definitely a buy in these levels, because it's always the same thing. People were complaining, yeah, and everything else, and we went around these 3,000 level, and many people still didn't want it to get in because they were fearful, or were actually hoping that we would actually go to the 2,000s, 1,000s. There were many people that were speculating that Bitcoin would actually drop to 1K, or even below that, around 250. But yeah, that is out of the window. So if I think Bitcoin is still a good buy, of course it is a good buy. Even if buying right now, it's a good buy. Buying at 6K is a good buy. If it goes down below the 4,000 level, 3,986, it's still a good buy. The bottom line is the bull market hasn't even started yet. So there's a lot of potential, guys, because we have to take a look at the all-time highs in here. And these all-time highs will be obliterated again. Maybe this year, maybe the next year, it will happen. And yeah, you still have the opportunity to buy Bitcoin right now at below 5,000, man. But it's like I said, that's my opinion. And basically that's it. That's what I wanted to talk about. So the bottom line is, you have to be patient. I ran up this bear market all the way down. I'm not a leverage trader. I do not trade futures. I don't like that, because it's basically a very good way to get wrecked. Besides of hodling bags like I did, I hodled, and I'm still holding a lot of bags, and I'm waiting for my opportunity again. This time I will smarten up. I will take my profits, because the bottom line is we have to take our profits because we need to get paid. And because the market, like I said, it's going back. In the next 2 to 3 years, will obliterate this all-time high again, and it will dump again. That's just how the cycle works over and over again, and we had already some. We had many cycles like that, you know. This only goes from 2015, so basically, uh, TradingView has history from the $111 area, but the bottom line is my Bitcoin I actually bought around 13 to 14 euros. So I really was blessed to get into to that price. I know that people actually bought Bitcoin when it was around 50 cents. So, and I believe that, and believe me, many of these guys that were buying at 50 cents, they are still hodling today, and they basically might have bought about thousands to 10,000s of Bitcoins at 50 cents. I really wish I could have mined, but the bottom line is Mt. Gox was around by then. It was basically the only exchange, and to buy Bitcoin by then, it really was very hard. Of course, I I use Binance. I use Mt. Gox. I still had an account. I actually created an account in there, but I never brought myself to send money to from a bank account to buy Bitcoin, because, well, I was new in the space and I wasn't sure about it. But yeah, that's how it works. That's how it was. Of course, the miners, the guys that actually started mining Bitcoin, these guys, yeah, they mined a lot of Bitcoin when it was actually profitable. Then around 2013, basic, or 2014, the ASIC started to get into the market. So, but yeah, I'm getting off topic, but I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience with Bitcoin, and what it will bring to the future. So if you're buying right now or around the 4,000 area, maybe 3,900, 3,800, yeah, man, it's absolutely a good price to get in compared to 20K or 50K when we reach that, or 100K. So it's like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but taking into the account of what this chart actually shows, and there's only one way. One way. It's going up, it's going down, it's going up, going down, it's going up, it's going down. But that's how it works. That's how Bitcoin rules. We have the cycles, and these cycles are dead on, because it's like I said, the gains are massive, and basically because of the price action that people actually get in. But yeah, I'm the coin. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up, and comment below. So I'm the coin, and I'm out.